Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. Enforcement officer knows that fear and confusion can force an honest man to turn against his own ideals of law and justice. Such was the case with Raymond Harris. When he arrived from New York, his greatest distinction was his honesty. His next greatest, $300,000 in gems carried in his briefcase. Before the day was over, it became the Highway Patrol's job to save his gems, his honesty, and his life.
Mr. Harris?
Yes?
I'm George Haley, Dr. Corbett's assistant.
Oh, yes. Oh, forgive my confusion. I was half expecting Miss Nelson.
Well, Laura had a few errands to do, so I'm filling in for her. I can understand your disappointment.
Oh, not at all, not at all.
Car's right this way. Don't you have any luggage?
Just this. I'm returning home as soon as I deliver the gems.
Yes, Dr. Corbett's been anxious to work on them.
May I use your phone, please?
Local or long distance?
Local.
Oh, yes. The operator will get it for you.
Twin Oaks 3-4, please. Dr. Corbett, it's Laura. If he was in the train, I missed him. No, I had car trouble on the way down and got here a few minutes late. But I've been looking for him for quite a while.
Well, no need to upset ourselves quite yet, Miss Nelson. I'm sure he'll call in. Harris is a dependable man.
We'll wait a bit longer and then leave a message for him.
That's right. Thank you. Patience, Chief. Won't be much longer.
All right, Harris, out. Leave that case in. That's what I want. Close that door. Now stand back there.
Those stones, they're worth a fortune.
Are they worth more than your wife and children?
What?
I'm not playing this game alone, Harris. I have some capable people on my team. One word to the cops about me, and you'll end up with empty rooms in your house.
But my family, they have nothing to do with this.
From now on, they've got everything to do with it. Just forget who I am and what I look like, and my friends will forget your family.
Please, listen to me. Dr. Corbett, my company, they'll know the gems are gone. You can't punish my family for that.
They'll know why they're gone. Just don't let anybody know who took them. You'll do that much for your wife and children, won't you, Mr. Harris?
MPF 686.
How long ago did this happen, Mr. Harris?
And it couldn't have been more than an hour ago. I called you as soon as I found the phone.
Weren't you suspicious when he drove you down that deserted road?
No, I'm a stranger around here. But I did remember that Dr. Corbett lived in some out-of-the-way place.
This guy, can you describe him? His car, his name, his clothes, anything?
I told you, Mr. Matthews. The man was dark, average height, wore glasses.
You described half the people in the state. Wasn't there anything distinctive about him? Scars or anything like that?
No.
What about the car?
Oh, well, if it's just a gray sedan, I don't know much about makes and models.
How about the license? Did you get any part of it?
Oh, I guess I was too frightened to notice.
Come in.
Hey, those mugshots you wanted.
Oh, thanks.
That call to the gem company is ready.
I'll take it in the other room. Mr. Harris, take a look at these, see if you can find a familiar face.
Oh, Mr. Matthews.
Yeah?
That call to my employers. Are you looking for holes in my story?
I'm looking for the right kind of an ending.
Easy there, Chief. Mr. Haley is our friend.
I hope he believes that, Doctor.
Why not? You had Harris convinced, didn't you?
Yes, I've never seen a man so frightened.
Knowing Harris, I can well understand it. There's nothing he prizes more than his family. Not even these.
You know, Doctor, I never held a gun on a man before, and I had a sudden urge. I wanted to shoot.
Beautiful, aren't they? Like frozen fire.
Yes, and getting hotter all the time. Doctor, what if Harris describes me to the police?
Relax, George. By the time Harris finds the courage to talk, you'll be in Mexico.
When do I leave?
Your train leaves the Twin Forks Depot at 2:45. Get off at Capital City and go directly to the airport. Your plane reservations will be waiting for you. You're all packed, aren't you?
All I need is the ticket.
Well, Mr. George Haley, and your reservation for Chief.
Am I going to be safe for that man-eater of yours?
Why, of course. He'll be in the baggage car. And these stones will be in the studs of his collar. It should make him more attractive to you.
Every time I look at him, I feel like a blue plate special.
Well, his sunny disposition will discourage any curiosity. You'd better run along now. You have less than 2 hours.
Do I take the dog now?
I'll deliver Chief and the gems to you in exactly 1 hour.
I wish I was on my way right now.
You haven't a thing to fret about, George. You're an honest, hard-working apprentice. You've never been in trouble in your life. Your reputation is impeccable.
Like yours?
Like mine. Our honesty is our greatest weapon, George. Far greater than that gun that frightened Harris. Everything's worked out smoothly so far. We'll complete our arrangements in Mexico City.
When will you be there?
As soon as I can leave without creating suspicion. You see, after all these years, I mustn't let anyone think I'm dishonest. I'll see you in an hour. With Chief.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for the information. I'll be in touch with you. Find anything?
No, not yet. Did they confirm my story?
Company feels the same way I do. Thief knew too much about you. Must be somebody working on the inside.
Well, that could be anybody in the New York office. 50, 60 people.
Could be somebody out here, too.
Out here, there's only Dr. Corbett, and he's worked for us for years.
What about his secretary?
Miss Nelson? Well, she's as honest as Dr. Corbett.
We'll find out about that. You keep looking at the mugshots. I'll have a man work with you.
Oh, Mr. Matthews, would you mind if I call my family in New York? They're probably worried about me.
No, go ahead, call them. Tell them not to worry. You're all right now.
Here, Chief. Here, boy. Here, boy. Time we put your traveling clothes on. That's it. Chief, this is a $300,000 collar you're wearing. See that you treat it with respect, huh?
Well, looks respectable enough.
Everything in this case is respectable. Harris, Corbett, the secretary, even the crook.
The rock collector?
Yeah, he let Harris go. Anybody else who tried to stop him from identifying him.
Well, Harris hasn't identified him.
Yeah, and it's bothering me. You wait out here.
What is it, officer? Is Dr. Corbett all right?
Yes, ma'am. May I ask what your business is here?
I'm his secretary, Laura Nelson.
Have you been with him long?
4 years.
Do you like your work?
Very much.
Can't imagine who'd pose as my assistant. I've never had an assistant, Mr. Matthews. No, Chief.
What about your secretary?
Well, I'll have to let you be the judge. She's here now.
I won't take up any more of your time. I might bother you later, though.
Well, I'll do all I can to help.
It's quite a watchdog you've got.
Yes, a man in my business needs one. But Chief is taking his work too seriously. I'm getting rid of him. He's causing too much trouble.
It's too bad. It's a beautiful animal.
I shouldn't have missed meeting him at all, but my car broke down on the way to the station. When I got there, he was gone.
Pardon me, Miss Nelson. It's Mr. Matthews.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Miss Nelson's car broke down on the way to the depot. Otherwise, she never would have missed meeting Mr. Harris.
And then there wouldn't have been a robbery.
What?
That phony assistant. He couldn't have picked up Harris, could he?
What assistant?
What happened to your car, Miss Nelson?
The fan belt, it broke.
Well, that's a pretty new car.
A few months old.
Fan belt shouldn't wear out in that length of time. Where'd you have it replaced?
At a service station not far from here.
Show us where it is?
Certainly.
All right.
We're running ahead of schedule, Chief.
While Dr. Corbett prepared to send the dog and the stolen gems as far away as possible, the Highway Patrol took a step closer to the source of the crime. The broken fan belt became the missing link in the $300,000 puzzle.
Take a look at this fan belt. Took an awful sharp knife to cut it that clean.
Are you sure it's from my car?
It's the only one he's changed in 4 days.
Why would anyone go around slicing fan
To
belts?
stop you from meeting Harris?
Did anyone have access to your car before you left, Miss Nelson?
I don't think so.
Where'd you leave from?
Dr. Corbett's place?
Was there anybody else there?
Just the doctor. But certainly,
Could he have tampered with it?
I'm sure he wouldn't.
Did he leave you alone at any time this morning?
Yes. I was typing some letters in his office. He was working in his lab. You don't suspect the doctor, do you?
Could be. Only takes a minute to slice a fan belt.
Why? Why should...
For $300,000 in gems.
He's handled millions in his time. He has a reputation for honesty.
He's gonna need it. Get it.
Who's there?
Dr. Corbett, George.
Come in. You're early.
Things are moving more rapidly than I expected.
What does that mean? The police?
Now, don't get excited. You'll be on your way in no time, and there'll be no evidence for anyone. Chief will see to that, won't you, boy?
Doctor, I don't like it. You had everything planned, like clockwork. Now you're rushing things.
Well, don't you trust me?
I have no choice. But I think...
You've always had trouble thinking, George. That's why you've always been a nonentity. You came to me asking for help, seeking prestige, stature, importance. I'm giving you that opportunity. 1/2 of $300,000.
Opportunity. A gem robber.
You were proud of yourself a while ago. You'd actually frightened a grown man.
I was more afraid than he was. Now it's worse.
Your train leaves in 40 minutes. And take good care of Chief. His new collar is very flattering, don't you think?
Shh. Quiet.
Well, the garage is empty.
Maybe he went out for cigarettes or something.
Let's try the house.
Well, you'd better let me go in first. Chief isn't very fond of strangers.
I found that out.
Here, Chief. Here, boy. That's funny. He never takes Chief anywhere.
Let us go in. You wait here. Didn't go for cigarettes, that's for sure.
Don't move.
I hope you gentlemen have a warrant for breaking in here.
Your secretary let us in. Sorry, Doctor, I want you to come along with us.
More questions?
Yeah, a whole lot of them.
Where's your dog, Doctor?
Out of friends. This robbery is bound to bring reporters, policemen, and other strangers. Chief doesn't get along too well with strangers. Right, Mr. Matthews?
Yeah, that's right. Now, let's go.
Go?
Headquarters.
Keep your hands off me.
Get in the car, Doctor.
Really, Mr. Masters, you're treating Dr. Corbett like a common criminal.
He's a suspect. He'll have a chance to clear himself.
Well, why him? He's never done a dishonest
Miss
act.
Nelson, I'd like to ask you some questions, too.
Oh, for heaven's sake, stop playing policeman. You're slandering the reputation of a wonderful old man.
Playing policeman is my job.
And working for Dr. Corbett is my job. This has never committed a crime more serious than double parking.
Yeah? I hope you're right. Will you go with us?
May I use my own car?
Yeah, sure.
Is the 245 running on time?
As far as I know, it is.
How you making out?
Not so good.
This is Matthews. Get me a background on Corbett. Yeah, he's at headquarters now. That's Corbett. Harold Corbett, Ph.D. He's a gem cutter. He has a home laboratory about 12 miles from Twin Forks. Get me everything you can. Call me back. Thanks.
Well, you don't really suspect Dr. Corbett, do you?
What can you tell me about it?
Well, I can tell you he's an honest man. My company would vouch for him.
I wouldn't. Every lead has his name on it.
Well, what about the other suspect, the man who held me up?
You tell me.
Well, I did. I told you all I could.
It's not enough, Mr. Harris. You rode in his car in broad daylight. You rode for 8 or 9 miles. You must be able to tell me something. The kind of clothes he wore, his looks, his car. Tell me something.
I can't.
Why not?
I just can't, that's all.
What are you afraid of, Harris? How did he threaten you? He can't hurt you now. You know that, don't you?
It's not me I'm worried about. I don't care about myself.
Who do you care about?
Forget it.
Withholding evidence is a crime. If you think you're protecting somebody, you're quite right. You're protecting the criminal. The guy that robbed and threatened you into silence. So you better choose sides. You're acting more like an accomplice than a victim.
He said if I helped you find him, he'd get back at me through my family. I have 2 children, Mr. Matthews.
You think your kids are any safer this way?
He said I'd have empty rooms in my house. He said he didn't work alone.
That's no secret. If we pick up one of them, the others are going to take off. They're not going to wait around to frighten your family, so make up your mind. Who are you protecting, them or your family?
That gray sedan, the license number is MPF 686.
Go ahead.
The man, he wore a dark blue suit, tan shirt, blue tie. He had on eyeglasses. Very studious looking. He said his name was George Haley.
Thanks very much. Oh, Mr. Harris, don't you worry about a thing.
Mr. Matthews?
Later, Miss Nelson, please. Send out an APB on George Haley. Could be an alias. Have all the units checked for his car. Also cover all roads out of the state. Get one of the boys to get me a registration and make on his car. Walters.
Yes, sir.
Who's with Corbett?
Johnson and McKay.
Have one of the units cover the railroad and bus stations around Twin Forks. See what they got leaving and when.
Well, there won't be many not out of Twin Forks.
That's good. It'll narrow it down. Have somebody check the airport at Capital City just in case.
Right.
Depot? Yep. Limited. Arrive in about 8 minutes. Yes? What's that? Well, now, I've got enough to do around here without doing that. What's that? Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, officer, yes, there's one man waiting for the train. He's got a dog with him, too. I say he's got a dog with him. A German Shepherd dog with a... Hello? 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 Must hung up, I guess.
Walters, let's go to the railroad station.
Mr. Matthews, have you cleared the doctor? Do you have it all figured out?
Not yet.
I still think you're wrong about Dr. Corbett.
We'll know in a few minutes.
Excuse me.
Well, what is it?
Nothing, just getting some air. Nice dog you got. What do you call him?
His name's Chief. When's that train getting here?
Oh, about 2 or 3 minutes, maybe more. Don't always stop here, you know.
It will today, won't it?
Mary Paul Frank 686. That's his car, all right.
And here's Corbett's dog.
Yeah. I'll cover him from here. You try and get him from the back.
Mind your own business. Keep your nose out.
Stay where you are and put your hands on top of your head.
Stop. Don't you come any closer. I'm going to get on that train no matter what you do.
We can stop the train. We can do anything we want. You haven't got a chance. Put that gun away.
No matter what you do to me, I'll do worse to him. You have no reason to do this to me.
We've got 300,000 reasons in rough-cut gems.
What gems? You can search me. I haven't got any gems.
What are you doing with Corbett's dog?
Is that a crime, taking care of somebody's dog?
Take him away.
Well, Mr. Matthews, do you have it all figured out?
No, not quite.
Easy, Chief, easy. What is it?
I'd like to take a look at that dog's collar. I got it all figured out now. All right, let's go. See the Highway Patrol in action again next week. Until then, remember, leave your blood at the Red Cross, not on the highway. This is Broderick Crawford saying, see you next week.
Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. Police agencies are constantly vigilant, always on the alert for the predictable.
Strip the phony windows and stuff off this truck and paint it as fast as you can.
It'll all be taken care of.
Walt, don't come around the stand. Let's go, baby.
Everything seemed perfectly normal, Mr. Matthews. I had no idea it was a robbery. Not until the real armored car showed up at the store a few minutes later.
How long have you been manager of the store?
Since it opened? Last year. But I've been with the chain 7 years, sir.
And they got, let me see here, 29,000.
Yes, sir.
When they came in, did they show you the proper identification?
Well, to be honest, they showed it, but I didn't really check it. I didn't question them. There's been other guards in the past. I saw the car pull up outside. I had no reason to be suspicious. The money is picked up each week at approximately the same time. As I said, everything
Yeah, I
seems...
know. It looked perfectly normal. This a list of your employees, past and present?
Yes, it is.
Sergeant, check this with criminal records. Get me the answer as soon as you can.
Art, please, put it away.
What's the matter with you?
I just feel better if you put it away.
29,000 lovely American beauties. 29,000. And they'll be even lovelier to spend. I just think in 6 months we'll be living like...
Please?
Okay. Better?
Only we didn't have to keep it here.
Okay. So I'll deposit it in a bank. It's not every week we get a windfall like this, baby.
I know, Art. But I've got a feeling things will never be the same again.
You bet they won't. We'll never have to scrounge around to make ends meet. You won't be wearing last year's dresses. We'll be somebodies, you and me. A lady and a gentleman, not hash slingers. People will be waiting on us instead of our waiting on them. You said you wanted that, didn't you? Well, didn't you?
Yes, Art. That's what I wanted.
Only now you're excited like I said, that's all. You'll be okay. Come on, let's open up, hmm? Kate? Kate?
All right, Art.
A perfect day, Kay. At a perfect spot.
We shouldn't be here right across the street. It's too close.
We can keep up with what's going on here. They'll never suspect us right across the street. Unless all of a sudden we should pull out.
Mr. Matthews, the reports are completed. Bring them in.
The criminal records check on his employees was negative.
And the other reports?
All superior trucks and those of other companies operating in this area were accounted for, but there is something.
What?
This is a report on recent orders of sheet metal. This one here is particularly interesting.
Oh, Burns Auto Shop, 1863 Elm Place, operated by Walter E. Burns. Ordered placed 7 weeks ago.
And this is a report on specialists in custom-built cars. This name here underlined.
Burns Auto Shop.
Report on mechanics past and presently employed by the Superior Armored Car Service. It pops up there again.
Walter E. Burns, chief mechanic from 48 to 53, rated one of the best. Well, that makes 3 out of 3.
Looks like they might have built their own.
Could be, but that's doing it the hard way. Let's see what happens with Burns when we ask him a few questions.
Well, he's not around. The truck.
Yeah, this.
Sheet metal and glass.
That's the truck they used, all right. They did a good job, too. Check around here. See if you can find his home address. Then send a patrol car out there right away. I'll wait here.
sir. Guarantee it'll melt in your mouth.
Art. I've got to talk to you.
Keep your voice down. Fool, I told you not to come around here, didn't I? It was only 24 hours.
The police were at my garage.
It's impossible. You're just jumpy.
Sure, I'm jumpy, but they were there, I tell you. The highway patrol.
What did they ask you?
I got out before they had a chance to ask me anything.
You crazy. It was probably just routine.
I wasn't taking any chances. The phony windows are still on the panel.
You were supposed to strip it and paint it.
I haven't had time. Art, I'm getting out of town. I was even afraid to go back to my apartment for a change. I need money for traveling, and for clothes, and I want my share now.
I don't have it here.
Listen to me, Art. I want it. I need it.
All right. Not now.
Then when?
Tonight, 9 o'clock.
All right. I'll be back then.
Now here. I'll meet you up at the River Road, 9 o'clock. We'll settle everything then.
Come on, let's go.
When Walter Burns failed to return to his garage or his home, an APB pickup order was radioed to all local points. The bulletin was repeated at regular intervals. When the APB failed to bring results, a tri-state alarm was teletyped. The hours passed. All reports coming into headquarters were negative.
I thought you'd never get here.
It's just 9. Such a perfect plan. Say, Walt, I wonder how the cops ever got to your place.
How do I know? Did you bring the money? I gotta go.
That's what we're here for, Walt. A final settlement.
The money's in the car, huh?
No, Walt.
Come on, quit kidding.
Who's kidding?
Now look, guard!
You killed him. You didn't say you were going to do a thing like that.
Had to be done, Kay.
No. No.
The police would have caught up with him. He'd have talked. Where would we be?
Killing? No.
The only practical way, baby.
The search for Walter Burns continued, but no results were forthcoming. There was not one trace, not one positive indication of where the wanted man might have gone.
Matthews. What? Where? I'll be right out. They found Burns on the River Road, murdered. What'd the medical examiner say?
Death was instantaneous, happened by 9:15 p.m.
You got the report at 9:30?
That's right, by a local farmer. He was passing by, saw the parked car and investigated.
Did you see any other cars on the road?
No, but there's another car here. It was parked just over there.
Any sign of the money?
No, but Burns, by the way, didn't have a cent in his pocket.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it? A $29,000 robbery, not a cent in his pocket. He gets paid off by being murdered.
The earth around here is soft and muddy. We got good impressions of the other car's tires. I think there were 710-15s. We also got good impressions of the shoe print.
After the lab boys make prints, send them in for analysis.
Right.
Maybe they'll walk the killer right into our hands.
I thought you were asleep.
What were you going to do with that briefcase? Tell me. What are you going to do with it? Tell me!
I wanted to burn it.
You what?
Destroy it. I thought it might change things. Undo what's been done. Bring us back to where we were before all this started. We were happy then.
I'm happy now.
Not happy. Different. A murderer.
This is the way things are going to stay. And don't you ever get such thoughts again. Kay! Don't try anything foolish. You understand?
Well, here they are, sir. All set and analyzed.
All right, what's the rundown?
Shoe size 8D.
That makes him out a man of medium height, huh?
Oh, we put his height at 5'8", give or take an inch.
Is he heavy?
No, sir, not over 140.
All right, go on.
They were inexpensive shoes. I'd say about a year old. Outside leather is showing the grain, and perforation marks are spread wide. And notice this.
The sole seems to be pretty thin right there.
Either sloppy in appearance, or can't afford to keep his shoes in shape. Judging from the low quality, I'd pick the latter.
Well, I'm surprised that you lab boys can't come up with a name and the phone number.
We could if you'd written it on his heel.
Okay, I'm stuffed.
We're not. Now look at this, Mr. Matthews.
Let me see. Heel's worn down on the inside.
Well, notice the arches on both shoes.
Frankly, I don't see anything special.
Well, we did. These prints were made by a pair of shoes with specially built-in arches. Cheap ones, but specially built in, just the same.
We couldn't ask much more from one set of prints, could we?
Except the name and the phone number. Check all the shoe stores in the area that sell shoes with specially built-in arch supports. Get on it right away.
Right.
Mud. Mud.
It's blood, Arthur. And no matter how hard you try, the blood won't come off.
Blood? What's the matter with you? Just some mud I stepped in.
Walt's blood.
Stop that. You're supposed to be out front. You're supposed to act like nothing happened. Business as usual, remember?
Business as usual.
That's right. For the next 6 months, everything according to plan.
You know what they say about the best laid plans?
Cut that. Now cut it. This is one plan that's gonna work. Then in 6 months...
6 months. Don't you know time is already up for us? Don't you realize it's already too late?
Get out there and take care of the customers. I'm going out. I'll be back in an hour.
Number of the railroad station, please. Information booth. Yes, regarding time of trains leaving the city. Thank you.
Okay, well, let's keep trying and keep in touch. Come in.
The report on Burns' friends is completed.
Anything at all?
No. Anything from the shoe tracer detail?
Willis has come up empty, too.
What about the other sections of the detail?
Same so far. Matthews. Yes, Koufax. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I got that. Where does he live? No, I'll take care of this myself, thanks. Kovacs just called from a shoe store on 2nd Street. They've got a customer who comes in every year and buys shoes with specially built arch supports. Cheap brand, too. Description fits him to a T. His name's Denson.
That's a break.
Oh, there's more. He and his wife run a hamburger stand on Venter Avenue. They live in an apartment directly in back of it, right across from the market that was robbed.
Get up those steps, quick. Get up there! Come on. Over there.
Let's go.
That was his wife. She's all right.
I'll call the ambulance. All the time. It was just across the street. patrol story next week is a very unusual one. We hope you'll be with us. Until then, remember, it isn't the car that kills, it's the driver. This is Roderick Crawford saying see you next week.
Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. In the field of law enforcement, there are many instances in which more than one agency is needed to protect the public against a specific criminal. 13 years ago, Tom Thornton was convicted in another state of the murder of his partner, Harold Sylvester, and sentenced to 20 years in prison. The motive was robbery. More than $500,000 in cash and securities was taken from the safe and never recovered. 10 days ago, with time off for good behavior, Tom Thornton was released.
You Thornton?
That's right.
I'm Matthews, Highway Patrol. The parole officer said I'd find you here.
Where'd you expect to find me? London, Paris, Rome?
Well, with $500,000, a man can go any place.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, then play it dumb. Let's go.
Well, let's go where?
You're square with the state for killing a man, but you're still on the hook for that money that was missing at the time of the murder.
Oh, we're back to that again.
Yeah, we're back to that. $500,000 in cash and securities. That's not easy to forget.
You're talking in riddles.
About 8 days ago, the security started to show up. They checked with the original list.
Well, I didn't turn them in.
Let's find out. Come on.
I wired Center City that you picked up Thornton. They want you to find out if he has an accomplice.
Okay, we can talk in my office.
I've got nothing to say.
Maybe you'll change your mind. Sit down. The Center City police tell me you can go back for another 7 years.
For a murder I didn't commit.
I'm not here to argue what a jury said. Now listen to me. You can play it tough, or you can be a nice guy and answer some questions. It's your play.
I'm sorry. What do you want to know?
You got to your brother's place, Sue, about 10 days ago. Is that right?
That's right.
Have you been to Linwood since you got out?
No.
Freeport?
No.
Amityville?
I haven't been to Amityville, Freeport, or Linwood.
Tell me, you know a fellow by the name of Herbert Stewart?
Never heard of him.
Maybe you know him under another name.
Now you're talking in riddles again. I don't understand what you're trying to say.
Securities who were missing at the time of the murder started turning up in Freeport, Amityville, and Linwood. They were turned in by a guy by the name of Herbert Stewart.
And you think I'm Herbert Stewart?
Either that or he was an accomplice in the original murder.
I didn't have an accomplice. I didn't murder my partner, and I don't know what happened to the money. I'm innocent. Oh, I know. You've heard that many times before from many people. But I am innocent.
Can I speak to you a minute?
Sure. What?
Another teletype from Center City. More of the missing securities have turned up for redemption. Right here in Hempstead at the City Bank.
Tell him I'll be right over. Why does a crook always think he's smarter than the law?
Because the laws are administered by people, and people make mistakes. They made a mistake in my case. I'm not a crook, and I'm not a murderer. No matter what 12 men on that jury said.
Sorry, Mr. Thornton, I can't buy that. You kept your mouth shut for 13 years, just so you could collect $500,000. Let's see, roughly that figures to about, $70,000 a year for the time you were in the pen. $35,000 if you had a partner. That's a fair country salary.
13 years ago, my salary as president of the company was $50,000 a year. Why should I take a cut in salary, plus a conviction for a murder I didn't commit?
We're going to find that out. Come on, let's go.
Yes? Oh, send them in. Come in, gentlemen.
I'm Dan Matthews. This is Mr. Thornton.
Sit down.
That's all right, thanks.
I understand from Officer Morris that you're here in regards to those missing securities.
Yeah, that's right. Do you know Mr. Thornton here?
I don't believe so. Are you a customer of this bank?
No.
What about the man that redeemed the securities?
Well, that was Herbert Stewart.
Is he a customer of the bank?
No.
How can you redeem securities for a man that's not a customer of the bank? A man you don't even know?
Well, those were call bonds. They're negotiable like money is. They can be turned in at any bank.
I see. How well do you know Stewart?
Not very well. I only met him once. Although I did have several phone conversations with him before he came in.
Describe him, will you?
Oh, a small, dapper man, bald, about 53 or 4, 140 pounds, lame in the left arm, some kind of paralysis.
You sure it wasn't his right arm?
I believe it was.
And did he have a little thin mustache?
Yes, he did.
Anything else?
No, I only saw him once. That was 2 days ago.
If you remember anything else, let me know, will you?
I certainly will.
You must be Dan Matthews. I'm Pearsall of Center City.
Glad to know you.
Figured you were much too smart for this, Thornton.
In what way, Sergeant? Or is it Lieutenant?
It's Lieutenant. And I figured you'd wait a little while before you started cashing any of those securities that we couldn't find.
How did you ever make Lieutenant? Because of the work you did in my case?
What happened at the bank?
Got a description of his accomplice, Herbert Stewart.
Good. None of the other bank managers was able to give us too good a description.
APB on Herbert Stewart. He's kind of a dapper guy, about 5'3", 5'4", 140 pounds. He's bald and got a very thin mustache. Well, this is important. He's got a lame right arm.
Recognize the description, Lieutenant?
Are you sure?
That's the description Carter at the bank gave us.
I don't believe it.
Do you want to tell him, Lieutenant? Or shall I give him the good news?
Well, that description fits Harold Sylvester. The man Thornton was supposed to have murdered 13 years ago.
What's the angle?
I told you I was innocent. I told everybody I was innocent, but nobody'd believe me. Now do you believe me, Lieutenant?
How'd you get a conviction for murder without the body?
We had all the evidence of murder. Bloodstains, dentures, fingernail. And we found $5,000 worth of missing securities in Thornton's basement.
What do you plan to do now, Lieutenant?
Why don't you go back to your brother's place? We'll find Stewart.
You mean you'll try to find Stewart? Or let's call him Sylvester. Well, I'll be looking for him, too. And when I find him, I'm going to kill him.
You're what?
And there's nothing you can do about it. Because 13 years ago, I was convicted for the murder of Harold Sylvester. I paid the price for my crime. And I figure the state owes me this murder.
Look here, Thornton. You're not living in a jungle. There are laws that'll take care of Sylvester.
Nothing you can say will make me change my mind. When I find him, I'm going to kill him.
Why don't you take it easy? We'll find him. And he's liable for the same punishment you received.
How about giving me back the 13 years I lost?
You can collect damages.
From Sylvester? How much can he have left if he's forced to cash securities?
I'm not going to let you kill a man, Thornton.
I'm going to get Sylvester. I don't want damages. I don't want money. All I want are my 13 years back. And my friends. And my business and my reputation and all my dreams of tomorrow. Can you get them for me?
I'm going to stop you, Thornton.
I knew Sylvester for 15 years. I know what he'll do in any situation. I know what he's doing in this one. So long, gentlemen.
Put a tail on him right now.
I've been on the force for 25 years. The one nightmare I've always had was sending an innocent man to jail.
Yeah, I know how you feel. Well, look at it this way. It's your job to find evidence. The DA's to build a case. The jury to bring in a verdict and the judge to pass sentence.
It was my evidence that built the case. Every time Thornton yelled that he was innocent, we yelled back that he was a liar. We called him the brain because we could never collect the rest of the securities and the money. But now I don't know anymore.
We're going to have to find Sylvester before Thornton really becomes a murderer. Come on.
The first report we received of someone cashing securities was here, Linwood. 24 hours later, Freeport. 2 days later, Amityville. And today, here, Hempstead.
Those towns cover an area about 1,000 miles in 3 states. So wait a minute.
Oh, you saw that too?
Yeah, if Stewart or Sylvester's got a base of operation, he moves out from there. That should put him right about here.
Glen Falls.
Yeah. Contact Glen Falls. Tell him a man answering Stewart's description might be living in that area. Then get in touch with Center City. Have him get a photo of Sylvester over to Glen Falls right away. Tell him I'll be there in about 2 hours. You got it? Right.
Officers sending an innocent man to jail now face Detective Pearsall, plus a new added terror. The terror of knowing that Harold Sylvester, alive, could legally be killed by Tom Thornton.
2371 to 2150.
2150 by.
Suspect still on the bus.
Keep him inside. Don't lose him. I want to know where he gets off. 10-4?
10-4.
Clark, this is Lieutenant Pearsall from Center City.
How do you do?
Anything on Sylvester or Stewart?
No, not yet. We've checked the post office, bank, local stores. No one recognizes the description.
How large is Glen Falls?
According to the latest census, slightly over 4,000.
We've got to get to him before Thornton does.
He may not even be in Glen Falls.
Yeah.
Highway Patrol, Clark. Just a second. It's for you.
Oh, thanks. Matthews. What's that? Tell him to keep at it. Right. Thornton just got off the bus in Glen Falls. Now, if Stewart's not Sylvester, he's got to be an accomplice. And I don't buy the idea that Sylvester's alive.
That description fitted Sylvester too strongly. I'm convinced now that we're looking for Sylvester.
Why did Thornton get off the bus at Glen Falls at this particular time, and what makes him think Sylvester's here?
Thornton's no fool. Remember, he and Sylvester built a big business out of nothing in less than 5 years. You don't do that on luck. He could have figured Sylvester's whereabouts from the map, just as we did.
Maybe if Sylvester owns a car, garage in this area might give us a lead.
I still don't get it. For 13 years, he stayed undercover. Now he comes out into the open. Why? Does he think we'd forget about the securities and the money?
Maybe he thinks we'll tie the redemption of the securities in with Thornton. Figures he's safe.
2371 to 2150.
2150 by.
Thornton's canvassing real estate offices and asking if anyone answering Sylvester's description has bought or rented a hilltop house.
Stay with it.
10-4.
2150 to headquarters.
Headquarters by.
Check the realty board. Get a list of all real estate brokers in this area. See if anybody answering Sylvester's description has bought or rented a hilltop house recently. 10-4?
10-4.
Of course. Hilltop houses. Sylvester was named the king because he always wanted to stay on top of the heap. His house in Center City is on top of the highest hill. The company building is the tallest in town, and Sylvester has the penthouse suite.
You asked me if I'd sold or rented a hilltop house. Well, this being a one-man office, I advertise all my listings in the local paper. Well, about a year or so ago, I had a listing for a hilltop house, and I rented it the day the paper came out.
Who'd you rent it to?
Oh, wait a minute. Now, let me check my file. Here it is. Mr. Herman Sawyer.
You remember what he looked like?
You've got me. This chap called on the phone and said he'd rent it. And I asked him if he didn't want to see it first. He said no. If it's the highest hilltop house, he wanted it. And then he said he'd send me a check for the year's rent in the mail. And he wanted me to go and open the house and leave a lease there for him to sign, which I did. I got the signed lease in the mail the next morning. And he still lives there. The thing that makes me remember it, it's the first time I've never seen one of my clients. That answer your question?
Well, not quite. Where's his house located?
Where Willow Road crosses Emerald Drive.
Headquarters to 2150.
2150 by.
Sergeant Garvey has lost Thornton. Also, real estate broker E.D. Chrisman reports rental of Hilltop House to Mr. Herman Sawyer on Willow Road near Emerald Drive.
Sawyer, Stewart, and Sylvester. Contact Garvey. Have him meet me at Willow and Emerald. 10-4?
10-4.
Checkmate. Hello, Harold.
Tom!
Any sign at all?
Just got here.
Let's take a look.
Hold it! I got here first like I said I would. Now go back to your car. You can't save him.
Don't be a fool, Thornton.
Don't you be a fool, Matthews. I've got Sylvester tied to the chair, and I've got his gun. And I'm going to kill him, inch by inch, a little at a time, just the way I died during those 13 years. Go back to your cars. I'll let you know when it's all over. Could be bluffing, but we can't take that chance.
Let him think he convinced us.
We can lob tear gas in from here without any trouble.
Tear gas won't stop him from pulling the trigger.
In Thornton's present condition, he'll shoot if we try any of the conventional methods.
Yeah, but we gotta get to him.
How? This is the only approach to the house. The other side drops down the hill.
We can't get in the front door, that's for sure. I'll try the back. You keep him busy.
Go ahead and shoot. You'd like that. Nice and quick. Well, I've waited 13 years, and it's not going to happen that fast. What are you going to do? What do you think I should do to get full value for 13 years? What would you do?
You always did want the most for your money. Always the cautious one. Playing it close to the vest.
And you always had to be the king. The top of the heap. You even had to have a house on top of a hill. You know what you have? An emperor's complex. Well, the king is dead. Or you will be, soon. I was just testing. Stay back.
I don't believe you.
Tell him.
Don't let him kill me! Don't let him kill me!
There's nothing anybody can do to stop me. How does it feel to know you're going to die?
You won't get away with it.
I didn't. They convicted me of your murder. And now I'm going to give them the evidence they need. Your body.
Thornton! Thornton!
I told you to get away from here. Now this is your last chance. If you're not out of here by the time I count 10, I'm going to kill him. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, we're going.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I told you not to try anything or I'd kill him. Now get away from him. Don't make me kill you, too.
Give me the gun, Thornton. You're no killer.
He's mine. I paid 13 years of my life for him, and I'm gonna collect. I told you I'd shoot. Don't you believe me?
All right, Patrolfull, come on in. Sorry, Thornton, but you're under arrest.
Why?
You were carrying a gun. For you, that's illegal. Let's go.
You saved my life.
I didn't come here to save you. Help yourself. I hope you'll be with us next week. Until then, remember, no matter how new, the safest device in your car is you. This is Broderick Crawford saying, see you next week.
Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. One of the most dangerous tasks faced by any law enforcement agency is the killer gone berserk, the criminal who has lost all sense of caution or self-preservation. When such a man is trying to escape the law, any citizen is in danger. And in all cases, the lives of the innocent must be preserved, even if it means letting the killer escape.
How much farther is it to the lake, Dad?
Oh, should take us about an hour.
Get behind that wheel, fast! Hurry up or I start shooting. I start the motor. Make a move to follow me and these people get killed. 3 of them, man, woman, and a girl, right here with me. Now, get on your radio and tell your boys to stop following me or I dump them out, one at a time and dead. Don't forget, buddy, if I even see a highway patrol car, they die. Okay, move it, fast.
This is 2226. My 1020 is on 43, 2 miles east of 25 intersection.
43, 2 miles east of 23 intersection.
Toby Larkin just commandeered a car, blue sedan. License Nora John Union, 989. There's a man and a woman and a girl in it. Before he drove away, Larkin told me he'd kill all three of them if there was any further pursuit.
Should I commandeer a civilian car and pursue?
Yeah? Grab a car and keep after Larkin. Get out of uniform if possible, and don't give yourself away. I'll meet you at the intersection of, wait a minute now, 43 and 21. I'll be in an unmarked car. The whole unit, stay out of the area. Keep away from Larkin. He killed 3 people today. That's par for the course.
Just remember one thing. Any one of you makes a move to let anybody know that anything's wrong, and that's it. I won't talk about it, I'll just shoot.
Look, I don't care who you are. We'll go along. All we ask is to be safe and you get where you want to go.
Okay, then, listen. Go in that store and buy some groceries. Canned vegetables, fruit, you know.
How much stuff do you want?
Enough for all of us, 3-4 days.
3-4 days? Dad, do what he tells you.
Yeah, do what he tells you. Go on. And just remember, I'll be holding a gun on the 2 of them.
All right. Don't worry, I won't try anything.
And you might all just say a little prayer that the highway patrol don't get smart and try and stop us.
$21.50 to headquarters.
Headquarters, bye.
My 1020 is the intersection of 21 and 43. I'm waiting for Dennis. Any word?
Nothing from Dennis. Have contacted all units and pulled him out of the area. Standing by for word from you.
He should be along any minute. Stand by.
Thanks for the lift. Did he pass you?
No car answering that description, no.
Turned off on a side road.
Could be. Dennis is with me.
Just got word from 1892. Spotted Larkin at Mount Murcott Terminal. 1892 had unit in garage and out of sight.
10-4. They must have headed for the mountains. Let's see now. There's 1, 2, 3 roads leading in there.
He could have taken any 3 of them.
Or pulled off on one to see if he was being followed.
All the cars out of the area?
Out of the area or stashed away so Larkin can't see him. 2150 to headquarters.
Headquarters, bye.
We're going to need the helicopter.
Right away. Do you want him at your 1020?
No, we'll meet him at the overpass near 21. 10-4?
10-4.
Take a look right over there. Larkin.
That's him.
Hope that chopper got off fast. Larkin will be easy to lose around here. Let's go.
Thought I spotted a car down there. He must have turned off. Go ahead. Try something. I'd like killing you. Bum, I
No, please don't.
Real smart, aren't you? Gonna rap me over the head with a flashlight, huh? Listen and listen good. One more try, anything. And that kid of yours gets it, right in the head. Understand?
Yeah.
All right, get back up there. Get going. The cabin's only a few miles.
Larkin slotting it. He could have taken any one of those side roads up the mountain. Over there to your left, Dust. Come on, get over there. That isn't it. We'll have to take a chance. We can't see in those woods from this altitude. Take her down. Yeah, this is better. See that dirt road over there? Follow it.
Okay, no car following. Let's get going.
That's it. That's Larkin. The license plate check. Pick it up before he uses it. $21.50 to headquarters.
Headquarters by?
We spotted Larkin halfway up the mountain. Have other units around the area.
We've run a check on the license number of the car Larkin took over, owned by a Peter Monroe on a vacation trip with family.
10-4. Monroe and family are going to need a lot of luck. So are we.
Give me the keys. Okay, out, all of you. We're almost there, but I got a feeling. Well, after we get to the cabin, what then? We stay there till I figure it's safe to go. What about us? You scared?
Oh, who wouldn't be scared? You're going to...
Barbara. Sure. I got a gun. And I'm Toby Larkin. Last night I killed 3 guys. 3 wise guys who figured that dough was worth more than they were. So they're dead. Shouldn't we get started?
Every time he stops like that, I start sweating.
Patrol continued on its mission. The problem is simple. Save the lives of 3 people from an irresponsible, panicked killer. A simple problem with a complex solution.
Looks like a cabin up there. Larkin's turning in.
Yeah, he's stopping.
Well, there's the cabin. Give me the keys. Let's go.
Go on, move up to the door. Now lock it. Come on, hurry up. All right, give me the key. You two, sit down over there. Not you, buddy. Outside. Get to the car and get the groceries. And in case you got any fancy ideas, just remember, they're in here with me. And I got this. Monroe.
Looks like he knows we're up here.
That'd help if we could get an idea.
You want to try an auto rotation? Sure, if you can find a landing spot.
You saw him going down that way. How about that clearing right over there? How about it?
I think so.
You're about over it right now.
Keep your fingers crossed. Landing might be rough. Check your safety belts.
Good boy. I'll get some firewood. You two can start dinner. We'll find out what kind of a cook that wife of yours is. There's some dishes and stuff on the shelves back there. You go chop wood. There's an axe by the stove. Leave that alone. They'll take care of the groceries. I said there's an axe by the stove.
I wonder what the best way is to get the guy out.
Either he comes out or the family comes out.
Larkin's too smart. He stay inside and not let the 3 of them out together.
If we had a layout of that cabin, we might be able to sneak up.
I'll see how close I can get and take a look.
That's what I like about you people. Everybody's a big hero. I don't see anybody trying anything fancy. Not one of you.
That's right. Larkin and the Monroes are in the cabin. Matthews is scouting it now, trying to figure out a way to get Larkin. We'll let you know. Heard or seen anything?
Not a thing.
Matthews, Highway Patrol.
Oh, am I glad to see you. I don't know what we're going to do.
Where's Larkin?
He's in the cabin with my wife and daughter. I'm supposed to be chopping wood.
Well, you better keep chopping. I've got 2 men with me. We'll figure something out. One.
In case you're worried about when I go to sleep, I got that figured out, too. You get all tied up, nice and neat. I sleep without a worry in the world.
You're a very clever man.
Yeah, let's put it this way. In my business, you're either clever or you're dead. I wonder what's taking him so long. You got any ideas?
No, I haven't.
I'll let him chop. The exercise will do him good.
Monroe. Any way we can get inside that cabin?
I haven't any idea. It's clear all around.
Yeah, you can see us coming from all directions.
We can move in from 2 sides at once.
That'll be too risky on the woman.
How about giving me a gun? I can get back in.
Well, we can't give you a gun, Monroe. If you missed, it'd be curtains for you and your family.
One of us will have to change clothes with Monroe.
Yeah. I'll change with you. You take over the axe. Come on, let's change, Monroe.
He sure is taking a long time to chop a little wood.
Well, he's not used to it. He doesn't know how.
Yeah, and I wonder what's going on.
Come on, hurry up. Load me up. You guys stay in the brush. If you hear any shooting, come on the double.
How about me?
I know how you feel, but let us handle this, will you? Come on. Put some more on here. That's it. Let me have the gun. Give me another one right here. That's it.
Boy, is he slow.
Here, would you like a sandwich while we get something hot ready?
Well, sure. Thanks a lot. Now, there he is.
Oh, let me help you, dear.
I got him. Get in the chopper. Drive him back to the clearing.
Right.
Oh, Barbara.
Oh, no.
You all right, honey?
for the cabin.
Let's lay down on the floor.
All right, Larkin, drop it. All right. You want it? Pick it up.
Take him back in the chopper. It's all right now, Mrs. Monroe. Everything's all right.
Oh, fine.
Say, by the way, would you do me a favor? Give me a ride down the hill?
Oh, we'd be happy to, Mr. Matthews.
And thank you, Mr. Matthews. We'd love to have you.
Kind of made a mess out of your jacket, didn't I?
After all, you saved our lives, Mr. Matthews.
Well, now you're saving mine. I don't like to walk. See Highway Patrol again next week. Until then, remember, if you care to drive, drive with care. This is Bradley Crawford saying, see you next week.